Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017. What up, brother DJ, brother Z? What's going on? How come you don't scream like that when my show's on? Let's get it. How come I don't get that? I don't get that. And why you got sunglasses on? What's going on?
I'm feeling real cool today.
You're feeling real cool? You got to have sunglasses to feel cool?
You know.
Wow. Okay. All right. I quit.
It's the Gen Z stuff.
Dude, you ain't the first generation to wear sunglasses. Are you kidding? Number one. Number two, if you need sunglasses to be cool, you are not cool, sir. Say what? What'd you say?
I don't need them to be cool.
You said you have them on because what?
I felt, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling a little cool.
You're feeling a little cool. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. It's Hump Day, Wednesday. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I had a conversation, and I've been listening to a couple of audiobooks because that's a good question. Can't find my phone. Uh-oh. Okay. Because you know how naked you can be without your phone. It's like, wait a minute. It's in here somewhere. I hear it. All right. Oh, there it is. I found it. Ain't that terrible? You go on a radio show, it's going to go on a podcast, it'll be on Spotify, TuneIn. I don't even know where we at anymore. We own everything. And then I hit my watch and it beeps because, yeah. So rule number one is never lay your phone on something black when your phone is black. Because you'll look and you won't see your phone. How dumb is that? Are you calling my phone? Who you calling? Who you talking about? Oh, wow. Like him, the sunglasses? I wish you all could see what he just did. That is terrible. That is terrible. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should also be applauded, but you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. Whew, what are we going to talk about today? I got the top 5 at 5 coming up. Don't get mad now. You got the sunglasses on. You can't see nothing. He was making fun of you and all kind of stuff, and you never knew it because you got what? What you listening to in your earbuds? You're supposed to be producing the show.
I had the man.
You're supposed to be producing the show. He got earbuds on, dark clothes, sunglasses. He is actually gone, but he's still here. Tell the truth. Isn't that true?
I'm right here, DK. I'm right, OG DK.
But you're already gone, right?
Listen. Friday vacation.
Again, you're already gone.
I'm here.
No, you're not. You're perpetrating. You're pretending. And so I'm trying to get people to understand mistakes, things that we do when we mess up. Now, I've heard two camps. One is that you learn from your mistakes, and the other one is you should forget about them because success is the only thing that matters. I've been in rooms where conversations were being had about raising money and starting businesses and doing all sorts of things. And the first thing somebody always says, money can't buy you happiness, which is true. Does that mean that you should not have money? It's about the process. It's about, and I've said that before, it's about going through and becoming, successful, and it's not about the money. It always comes from people who already have money, who are already fairly well off, working in a job or a business where they're getting paid somewhere between $250,000 and $500,000 a year. Why is it they're the only ones that say that? What is that? We can learn from mistakes. So right now what I'm doing is I have a whiteboard at home, and I'm writing down every single experience I've had. What I am, where I am, what I've come through, right? The usual husband, father, brother, but I'm not an uncle. But I'm an uncle to those kids that are friends of mine and their kids call me Uncle Ken, right? What else? Right? But all the things that I've been in contact with throughout my life. I failed. I've been fired from a job. It was in college. I quit a job. I had stress doing this. I completed doing that. Like all those things that I've been through, they count. And so let me think. 1, 2, 3, 5 of us were having a conversation last night about how failing at something caused us to pursue success and greatness to the point that we wouldn't fail. That when we did fail, we moved forward. And it sounds easy, but it's not easy. Putting it in religious terms, most people think that God is a tit for tat. But yet, I'm a firm believer that we live under grace. There'll come a time and a place where something that you do will come back and bite you, right? If you do cocaine every day, eventually you might possibly overdose, or your body might give out, or your organs might, right? But there's a time and a space in there where you could do drugs and then stop, and then you're fine. Like, not everything has to have a negative outcome, even though it's negative. Sometimes we can wise up and go, I should probably stop doing that. That girl you're trying to date, that guy you're trying to date that just doesn't want to be bothered, don't be bothered. That car that you want to buy, but you know you can't afford it, and if you buy it, you're going to be in debt. I saw a car. Look at this. I saw a car because I'll be honest with you. I'm looking for a car. Like, eventually my car is going to go, OGDK. Yes. I am DEAD. You're like, what? Like, I'm dead. And then I got to get a new car. And I have high mileage on my car because I like to drive my cars with high mileage. I like older cars. I don't like cars that are brand spanking new and pretty and set up. But eventually I have to buy another car. Now, I'm very particular when I buy cars because I'm a no squabble person. If you want me to pay what you want me to have to pay for that car, then I'm going to have on the car what I want on the car, or something that's going to accompany it. Right now, I have a Mercedes hat and Mercedes carpets, both plastic and cloth, in my car because I didn't haggle. Well, we don't haggle over the price. Well, then you're going to have to give me something for me to pay cash for that car, for me to pay anything for that car. You're going to have to give me something. Why? Because I learned from my mistakes from buying cars in the past that salespeople will sell you what they want you to have, and they will finagle the price so that you can think that it's palatable to buy, that it's a great thing to buy, only to find out later, like my friend did, he got a 7-year payment plan for his car. Are you kidding? 7 years? You realize that car is going to be done in about 4. And you're going to be paying for it for the next 7 years. That's called a mistake. We all make mistakes. We all do dumb stuff, but then we learn from it. We're about to find out whether or not it's a mistake to vote Donald Trump in as president. We're going to find out if it's a mistake for the county to pass a $1.4 billion budget. We're going to find out if it's a mistake for the city to pass a $2 billion budget. We're going to find out if it's a mistake to have a legislature that's all Republican and a mayor and cabinets that's all Democrat. We're going to find out. But if you want to be the person you need to be, if you want to be the person that starts businesses, notice I said businesses, because if you start one, you can start 4. Do movies, do radio, sell insurance, whatever it is, learn from your mistakes. Why is that? Well, I came across an old Buddhist saying, and I'm going to paraphrase it, that said an idiot can learn from their mistakes. Now think about that. If you keep running and doing stuff and you keep making the same mistake, eventually you're going to stop. I hope. You're going to stop. And if you don't stop, life will stop you. If you keep doing cocaine, if you keep smoking weed every day, all day, you're going to die. And so you don't have to worry about stopping. Your idiocy will stop you. But any idiot can learn from their mistakes. You know what I found out? It takes a wise person to learn from the mistakes of others.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
It's College Month on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholars get those free scholarship dollars. All month long, we will be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations who help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune into 1017 The Truth College Month so you can learn how your scholar can get those scholarship dollars. College Month on The Truth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Concordia University, Wisconsin.
What distinguishes Old National Bank from other lenders in helping people buy their first home and furthering their small businesses?
One thing that really makes us stand out is our grants. We have 2 really big grants right now specifically for first-time home buyers buying in Milwaukee County. The first one is for $15,000. They have to be buying within Milwaukee County and reach certain income limits. And then the second one is for $20,000, and that is through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Indiana. We're headquartered in Indiana, as you know, Denise. So that is a second grant, and that is really the highest, most robust grant program throughout the entire southeastern Wisconsin area. So it's it's up to $35,000 essentially that a person could be receiving for their first home. If you are in a position that you're looking to buy your first home throughout Milwaukee County, please give me a call. Please contact me. I'm more than happy to help everybody that I can.
And what's your number, Anna?
Sure.
How can they reach you?
414-978-0283.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't spend another winter shivering at home with wind howling through your windows. Take advantage of this deal from Pella. No interest, no payments for 12 months. Keep your home comfortable and save on energy bills thanks to customizable windows and doors from Pella. Pella can design them to look like they've been a part of your home throughout its history. Visit PellaWI.com today. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30 of 2024.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven center for home care, a successful center for employment, a center for trauma recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
Are you an African American or Hispanic adult with elevated A1C and currently treating your type 2 diabetes? The University of Wisconsin needs your help to participate in Enrich, a diabetes research study which may involve working with a pharmacist and or a community health worker. Most discussions will be held over the phone. All participants will receive compensation. For more information, call Delicia now at 414-550-1016. That's 414-550-1016 and ask Delicia about Enrich.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Got to get my dance on. I got to quit because people watch it on YouTube. 833-212-1017 is the number. Right here. Turn it up. Okay with it. 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being who you are. Now that I said that, I got a beef. So I asked this question the other day, and I am embarrassed to say that nobody responded. And I don't understand that. I do not understand. I also have to remember to remind you that this is the end of my day, and my day starts significantly early. So every now and then, if you hear me slur a word or say the wrong word and all that, that's what that is, right? Charge it to my head and not my heart. Or in that case, my mouth and not my brain. But anyway, I digress. When will children stop dying in Milwaukee? Like, can somebody help me with that? This afternoon, this from CBS 58, a 2-year-old child was struck and killed by a driver on 60th and Hustis. Police say just before 12:30 this afternoon, a child ran into traffic and was struck. The victim was transported to a local hospital and later died. The driver of the vehicle, a 41-year-old man, remained at the scene and was arrested. Why? Driving without a license. What is that? Driving without a license. So what am I listening for? Okay. Y'all ready? All right. Everything's quiet. Listen for 10 seconds. What do you hear? That's the sound of the Milwaukee community not caring about children. And as if that's not enough, 10 p.m. last night, a teenager found dead following a shooting that took place on 27th in Oklahoma. You know where 27th in Oklahoma is? A half a block from the police station. 3006 South 27th Street. The police station is literally a block from where the shooting took place. 1 block. You can literally see 27th and Oklahoma from the door of the police station. Police say a 16-year-old was taken to the hospital for treatment, which was actually across the street, unless they took him to Freighter, and later died. Police are investigating circumstances that led to the shooting, while they also search for an unknown suspect. Anybody that knows any information or has any information, call 414-935-7360. General number for Criminal Investigation Bureau. You could also contact Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS. And what do we get? Just another day. 4-year-old shoots 8-year-old. What do we get? 2 mothers arrested for child neglect. 2 people arrested for child neglect. One of them is a mother, I guess. What do we get from the community? Nothing. Zip. Quiet. I don't understand what that is. I don't understand. But if a white cop shoots a black person, all hell breaks loose. We march. I mean, for good reason. If it's a bad shooting, tear up everything, burn up everything, I guess that's okay. But when a kid dies in the community, when a person gets shot, nothing? Zero. That's unfortunate. 833-212-1017 is the number. James, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine. I almost don't want to talk about the subject I want to talk about since you said what you said there. That's a little more important.
No, go ahead. We can talk about yours, and then you can tell me what you think about mine. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, mine is that, okay, so the mayor's supposed to be trying to make Milwaukee, I guess, a population of, 1 million people or something like that. And what do you think about as far as the taxes being raised now on the property taxes, along with the garbage fees and the snow fees and everything, and then they just raise sales tax and stuff like that? To me, I feel like that it's like eventually going to tax people out of the city of Milwaukee eventually at some point in time.
That's quite a possibility. But when you have people, a good number of people in Milwaukee living under poverty who can't afford stuff now, the only services that are going up, but you got to understand, the only thing people that live in the city for everybody is the sales tax. Those other taxes deal with people other than parking, the 44,000 extra tickets they want to write, it only affects people who own property. And they're going to be the ones that leave.
That's true. You know, and you brought up another subject, too, and I'm going to say this honestly. Being retired from the city of Milwaukee, I used to do the street sweep. I would get up early in the morning doing the street sweeper, and I would come from the inner city, and on my way from the inner city out to like the West End, like 94th and Blue Mound, stuff like that.
Right.
Before I get to Blue Mound, I would see all these tickets on all the cars on the inner city where it is like they just went through it. It's like everybody's got a ticket. But I would get out there more than one occasion, out there 94th and Blue Mound, cars parked all on the street everywhere. I don't see no tickets anywhere.
And why do you think that is?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that. Honestly, I don't. But I know it's not fair from what I see.
In what way?
Well, because it seems like, okay, just by my observation, I could be wrong,
right,
but it seems like the inner city is like targeted, for some reason. And I mean, I've done this on more than one occasion to go out there on the street sweeper. But it seems that the inner city is targeted for some reason. Like, all of a sudden, you see all these tickets here, but you get out there, you don't see any tickets anywhere.
Is it that they haven't had enough people go out there to write tickets, or they just don't have enough parking checkers that are going to write tickets?
Well, they got no parking checkers that write tickets in the inner city. Those same parking checkers can go on the West End and write tickets, too.
So why do you think that is?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
So let me ask you a question. If you lived in a certain area of the city, and in your area you were able to remove leaves do snow removal, would you do your block first?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Okay. And so if you were a parking checker and you wrote tickets, would you write tickets in your neighborhood first?
Yes, but I thought that this would be like on the schedule where they go in different areas and doing different areas instead of start for the inner city. Because if you start for the inner city and work your way out west, then you'll never make it out west.
I'm going to be honest with you. Where I live in Sherman Park, I have not seen a parking checker on my block in at least 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I watch people park on the wrong side of the street. Not the ones that have permission, right? Because you can do it online, you can do it on your phone, you can call. But I've not seen an actual parking checker in a Jeep on my block. I saw one on I think West Center Street maybe a month ago. And that was the first one I had seen in months.
Well, the people over there in Sherman Park are very fortunate then. At least on your block they are.
Well, but I park in a garage. But yet,
smart move.
But yet when it snows, I can't get the snow in front of my house cleaned up in a timely fashion. And I know you can't be everywhere all day, but I've gone where it'll snow and a week later nobody came through my block.
I can believe that. I can truly believe that. Honestly, I can believe that.
Yep.
Again, having worked for the city of Milwaukee and doing snow plowing, I can believe that.
And I get that we don't have a lot of people, right? But wouldn't you buy half the trucks for garbage and half the trucks for plowing and leaves? Or half the truck, or 3/4, or three quarters for garbage and a quarter for. We don't get garbage picked up at a time when we need garbage picked up because the snow falls. Everybody's at home, and now your garbage compiling gets bigger because everybody's home, and then you don't pick up the garbage, and then you say you can't pick up the garbage because it snows.
My question to you is this.
Yes, sir.
If you can think of things like that make sense, how come they can't think of it downtown?
Because they don't want to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
They simply don't want to pay for it.
Okay.
One of the priorities
I don't
is
take
that,
all your time on the radio.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. One of the issues is that police and fire, public service costs a lot of money. Not because they get paid a lot of money, but because there are mandates that are in place that have to be. They're just some things you have to have. So you're just kind of stuck with public service. But at some point, if I'm going to pay more, I should actually get more, like, street lights fixed. Yep. All right.
Yep, that's right.
All right, thank you much. I appreciate it, James.
Thank you. Have a great day now.
You too. 833-212-1017 is the number. Brandon, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, Dr. Harris, thank you for having me. I just wanted to add some more commentary to that parking issue.
Okay.
It's been something that I've kind of followed since maybe 2008 when I was a college student at UWM. But what seems to be happening is areas that have a high propensity to get out and vote, typically tied to home ownership, seem to get higher levels of service and then lower levels of the types of predatory practices that might be seen as sort of detrimental to somebody voting for the incumbent. So, you can look at North Avenue, and as you go south on North Avenue towards the Washington Heights homeowners and some of the more established neighborhoods as far as voting, you'll see, a greater level of snow pickup and a lower level of ticketing. And then as you go north, where there is a higher density of renters, you'll see a much more increased level of tickets being issued. And they kind of try to balance this out where it doesn't seem like African-American communities are being targeted by targeting the east side, where there's a large number of transient renters, meaning, folks that are here for college and then will be gone. So when you look at the total numbers, they're going to tell you, hey, we're not just targeting African-American neighborhoods. We give out the most tickets on the east side. But the reality is they are doing exactly what that prior caller was insinuating, which is essentially targeting African-American areas to kind of balance the budget on our backs.
So why do you think tickets are being written? Like not in a particular neighborhood, but just why are parking citations written?
Because they need to generate revenue, and they are losing it via property tax rolls. For every abandoned home, they need to find a way to make that up. This city wasn't designed to have so many properties not producing property taxes.
And where are you getting that information from?
From the sheer number of vacant houses and vacant parcels of land in communities that historically have had a high number of occupancy, as well as sort of the population decline of the city overall.
So that's so we're working with an assumption on your part.
I mean, I can't quote a statistic, but I mean,
so we're working on
more
an
than
assumption.
enough data out. It's not really an assumption. It's an assumption from what I'm telling you now, but the statistics are out there that the city's population is significantly declined from where it was at its peak, and the city was designed during that peak. So that's not an assumption. That's there's raw data that support that.
But you're making a correlation, but I'm not hearing where the data came from and all that. The reason I'm saying that is because the reason we write tickets is for compliance. So if you comply,
that's not true.
I've been a cop for 30 years. I'm telling you what it is. Now were you a police officer?
That might be factual.
No,
sir. That is.
You're not even giving me where the data comes from. Where's the data come from that you have? Where does the data come from that you have? Well, I'm speaking from my standpoint. Hang on. I'm speaking from my standpoint. You're speaking from yours. You can tell me you believe yours is correct, but you can't tell me mine is wrong.
So, sir, may I ask, do you believe there was a story earlier this year where a woman was receiving an illegal dumping citation, and she had to do all of the work herself to hunt down and find that person that actually did illegally dump?
Correct.
Do you believe the citation she received was for compliance?
Yes,
or was it for revenue generation?
It was for compliance because you're going to let me finish? It was for compliance because they wanted her to not have illegally dumped things on her yard. That's called compliance. It's like a traffic ticket. It's for compliance. I want you to drive right, speed less, park on the right side of the street, and get permission. When you don't do that, you get a ticket. They don't just ticket you so they could get revenue. Is that an outcome? Sure. Can you build a correlation between the two? Probably. But that doesn't make it true. It just means those two things exist at the same time. But compliance is what they want. Would you agree that if I parked on the right side of the street, got a parking permit, and moved my car on the alternate days like I'm supposed to, would I get a ticket? Yes or no?
No.
It's called compliance. But, however, there's credence to what you say because I get to decide as a parking checker, and just like you intimated, when and where I write those tickets. So if I write tickets in mostly the areas where people are non-compliant and nowhere else, then your argument is correct.
I hear you. I just don't think the illegal dumping citations they issue are related to compliance, and I think
then why else would I write the ticket? Because I don't like
you? Because you want to generate revenue. No, sir, because you want to generate revenue.
But that woman never had to pay the ticket.
This revenue is something.
But the woman never had to pay the ticket.
That one, she's had to pay some prior.
Okay. You do understand compliance, right? To correct the problem. When you correct it, you don't get a ticket. So
do you believe that giving out these citations for illegal dumping is correcting the illegal dumping issue?
Clearly it is because she went out and found. Now, you're correct, and I agree 100%. They're doing it the wrong way in terms of correcting it instead of doing the legwork to go find the person. But compliance is based on what they see. So if I see your car parked on the wrong side of the street and I write a ticket, they don't know that you might be handicapped. They don't know that your car might have broken down. Your car's on the wrong side of the street.
Yes,
they
sir.
write the ticket. You got dumping issues on your property.
May I make one more comment?
Absolutely.
Far as the alternating side of the street, why, when you go maybe just a few miles east or west into the suburbs, alternating is not something that they have to do. It is almost as if they are finding ways to generate revenue from non-compliance. I mean, why do you need to alternate the side of the street when there isn't a snowfall?
Because that's how they clean the street, that's how they remove the leaves, and that's how they remove the snow year-round. Number two, the suburbs don't have the same city ordinances that Milwaukee has, and some of them do. Because in some suburbs, between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., you can't even park on the street at all, or they'll tow your car.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for hearing my comments, and I really appreciate the feedback.
I appreciate you, and keep calling and throw some more data out. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you much.
All right. Thank you.
833-212-1017 is the number. I like Brandon. Brandon was like, look, I saw the data, and he's true, but am I going to get myself jammed up and get in trouble because I wrote a ticket only in one neighborhood? Probably not. Does that happen? Yeah. But my issue is in reverse. The majority of the parking citations I've written in the city of Milwaukee have been on the south side of Milwaukee in predominantly white neighborhoods with nice grass, nice homes, everything. And that's why I wrote tickets. And people complain, I can't get that. All you have to do is comply. I mean, to the point where if you were parked on the right side of the street and didn't get permission and didn't have a permit, I rarely wrote you a ticket. It's when you're parked on the wrong side of the street and you know the street sweeper has to come through at night, the leaf removal has to come through at night, snow removal has to come through at night, and then when your car gets towed, you actually have the audacity to complain when you were non-compliant. That's what correction is for. That's why we have a Department of Corrections. It's to make you compliant with the ordinances and the statutes in Wisconsin. Like, that's it. If you comply, you don't get pulled over. You don't get a ticket. You don't get arrested. It's, I don't know, kind of simple. Now, what we got today? We got everything. We got everything. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We're getting close to awarding someone $10,000. It's the third Thursday networking event featuring the pitch competition, November 21st at Rain Event Lounge, 231 East Buffalo, 5 to 9 p.m., hosted by the Wisconsin Black Chamber. It's the last chance to qualify for the pitch finale in December. Be there at 5 p.m. to register to compete. Registration to pitch is only open for 15 minutes, so be on time if you want a chance to be a finalist and compete in December for the $10,000 first place prize. The audience chooses the winner at the monthly event, so bring your family and friends to come support you. Let me say that again. The audience chooses the winner at the monthly event, so bring your family and friends to come support you. Third Thursday is not just about the pitch competition, though. There's life-changing networking opportunities, games, prizes, and music by DJ L Boogie. There is no cost to attend our Third Thursday event or compete in the pitch competition, so don't miss out. Rain Event Lounge, 231 East Buffalo, 5 to 9 p.m. Visit twbcc.com so you don't miss out on what we have going on.
This is Dr. Ken Harris from Truth in the Afternoon. Listen to The Truth all day, every day by downloading the Truth app or streaming on Spotify, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Stitcher. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
Fathers, grandfathers, future fathers, and father figures. Bring your families and join Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson at the Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit Saturday, November 16th at Milwaukee Academy of Science from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Don't miss this one-stop shop resource fair connecting Milwaukee families with job opportunities, child support help, health education and screenings, financial empowerment, legal assistance, and fatherly inspiration. The featured speaker is Pastor Kenneth Locke from Evolve Church. Bring your teens and learn about internships, jobs, and local mentoring opportunities. Register to be eligible to win gift cards, so don't wait. Gifts and prizes will also be available for families during the event. Pre-register today by visiting milwaukee.gov/fatherhood to join us as a participant and exhibitor, or to support the Fatherhood Summit as a volunteer. That is milwaukee.gov/fatherhood. See you Saturday, November 16th at the Milwaukee Fatherhood Summit, sponsored by the City of Milwaukee, Brewers Community Foundation, and Ascension, Wisconsin.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions, get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Still got some backups with this issue on Forest Home. Both directions of Forest Home closed right at 894, so watch out for that. Delays now from Beloit Road down and through the Hale interchange to Forest Home on the freeway itself. Eastbound 94 backing up just east of 84th Street through the stadium to 35th. Westbound slowing down from 25th Street out past Mitchell Boulevard almost to Hawley Road. And then southbound on 41 backing up from south of Appleton Avenue past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue down and over the high-rise bridge. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, rain likely, cloudy, mild, a low of 48. Tomorrow, showers early, mostly cloudy with a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Game 1 of the NBA Cup resulted in a win for the Milwaukee Bucks on Tuesday night as they beat the Toronto Raptors. This one by a final score of 99-85.
Well, Giannis has a step on the defense, went right past Obachi and flushes it through with a two-hand dunk.
Giannis would finish with 23 points on the night, and the Bucks improved to 3-8 on the season with that win. Despite the slow start, Pat Connaughton believes the wins for this team will eventually begin to come.
Look, we have been playing better. We haven't been playing well enough to get out with the victories that we want, but we got to continue to pride ourselves on our standard on both ends of the floor and try to do it consistently for 48 minutes.
Bucks right back to work tonight as they will welcome in the Pistons tip-off set for 7 p.m. Over to baseball, where the accolades keep pouring in for the Milwaukee Brewers. Catcher William Contreras, the latest. He takes home his second consecutive National League Silver Slugger Award at catcher. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Girl, words can't express the way I feel for you. The way you hold me, the way you touch me. Girl, everything.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, Truth Nation. We teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black Business Give Back. And so each quarter, like right now we're in the fourth quarter of the year, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 black businesses. Visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com to sign up today. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on 101.7 The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Also want to remind, it's today the 13th? Yeah, it is. That's today. Award-winning 101.7 The Truth is proud home of Milwaukee Panthers basketball. The Panthers look to get back in the win column tonight when they travel to Virginia to play the Longwood University Lancers. Scott Wars has the coverage starting at 5:30 a.m. Huh? 5:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off is set at 6 o'clock. So I guess we out of here at 5:30, huh? We got a boat. We got to roll. All right. Even though that does say a.m. Here's what I say to it. Claire. All right. Which is what I do to paper after I read it anyway. So, 833-212-1017 is the number. Before I get to this story, let me check the... Good Doc, you jamming today, elder brother. Stop calling me elder brother. Go away, caller. Doc, marching is in response to lynching. No, it's not. George Floyd was marching, but that's because of that. But no, we march. What? So when things are bad, the only time something happened to us when white people do it, or somebody non-black, that's when we march. But then we don't care when okay. All right. Interesting. I find that interesting. Anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. TheGrio.com. This from Tallahassee, Florida, and the Associated Press. Have you read The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison? What about Forever by Judy Blume? Slaughterhouse-Five, Kurt Vonnegut? I read that. Y'all don't read. Oh, my.
Read. I ain't read them books.
Green eggs and ham.
That's DJ Brother Z over there.
Did you just say green eggs and ham?
Did
he just say? Okay, To Kill a Mockingbird.
He only read To Kill a Mockingbird because of high school. We was forced to.
Well, that's the only time you ever read is when you're forced to. So, all of those books have been pulled off of shelves in some Florida schools, according to the latest list compiled by the Florida Department of Education, tallying books removed by local school districts. Recent changes to state law have empowered parents and residents to challenge school library books and require districts to submit an annual report to the state detailing which books have been restricted in their schools, which parents have a right to do. Florida continues to lead the country in pulling books from libraries, according to analysis by the American Library Association and the advocacy group PEN, that's P-E-N, America. The restriction of access is a restriction on one's freedom to read. Well, I, as a parent, dictate what my children read, whether it's anti-black, anti-white, anti-Hispanic, anti-Asian, or pro any of those. They said students lose the ability to access books that mirror their own lived lives, to access books that help them learn and empathize with people who have different life experiences. I don't know if To Kill a Mockingbird is something that a black kid is going to have something in common with. I'm just saying. However, the list released in the 2023-2024 includes Maya Angelou, Flannery O'Connor, Richard Wright, as well as books that have become targets for censorship across the country because they feature LGBTQ plus characters, discussions of gender and sexuality, and descriptions of sexual encounters, such as All Boys Aren't Boys by George Johnson, Gender Queer by, I think it's Maya Kababy. Conservative advocates have labeled such content pornographic. Now, here's the deal. Also, the books on the list, let me go, removed from the library, let me finish this, are accounts of the Holocaust, Anne Frank's diary, the graphic adaptation, Sophie's Choice. So is a graphic novel adoption of 1984, George Orwell's seminal work on censorship and surveillance. I think that's a bit much. However, it's those parents in Florida, it's their constitutional right to have those books removed. There are some books I wouldn't want my kids reading. And no one has a right to tell me that if I want those books removed and I'm doing it in a legal way, that they have something to say about it. You can have something to say about it, but it's my choice. It's my choice. Did we take the 42 break yet? I'm way behind. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. If you didn't wear them sunglasses, I would be able to tell time. Now, one ain't got nothing to do with the other, but I'm going to blame him anyway because he got sunglasses on. But it doesn't make sense. In a statement to Associated Press, a spokesperson for the Florida Department of Education maintained that there are no books being banned in Florida and defended the state's push to remove sexually explicit materials from school. Once again, far-left activists are pushing the book ban hoax on Floridians. The better question is, why do these activists continue to fight to expose children to sexually explicit material, spokesperson Sydney Booker said. The list shows that books removed vary widely across the state, with some districts not reporting any restrictions and others tallying hundreds of titles pulled from the shelves. Farrell of the Florida Freedom to Read Project said that based on the group's analysis of public records, the department's report is an undercount because it doesn't include books removed following an internal staff review, just those pulled following a complaint from a parent or resident. But you still have a right to do that. It's still part of your rights. And do you want your kid reading stuff that they can't understand and you're not there to explain it? I would think not. Like, at some point, we need to let kids be kids. At some point, we need to let children not be bombarded with LGBTQ plus, sexually explicit men and women. I don't care who it is. You should not be open to that. I'm sorry. You're a child. Go have some fun. Go play. Play in the dirt. Eat some dirt. Goodness. Go play in the dirt. Get your feet and your socks and your diaper and your shirt wet. Go have some fun. And leave it to the parents to raise their children. It's not the state's job to raise kids. Now, the fact that you're taking them out of the library makes no sense to me, because libraries are where those books belong, and you simply put them all in a section and say, you need permission from your parent if you want to read these books, and it's not a big deal. Libraries are where books belong. You shouldn't be pulling books out of the library, but those parents have a right to do so. Can't get mad at them.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jamming with Juice each and every day on 1017 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We got Top 5 at 5 coming up. And at 5:30, we got basketball from UWM. So make sure you hang around and check that out. And when it's over, you'll get Tori Lowe show after that. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, more Top 5 at 5. And yeah, it was the Diary of Anne Frank. They did get rid of it. I'll see you on the other side.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 1017 The Truth and see this wonderful smile live every day.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is it. Hey, should I take one day? Should I take one day and be like NPR? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Have that NPR voice? I should, shouldn't I? Just as they say, for giggles. I don't say the other part of that, but, you know. For giggles. We should just one day sit there and say that particular thing.
Number 5.
So they extended leaf collection because I haven't seen anybody collect. Have you seen any trucks collecting like leaves? I haven't seen any. But anyway, Milwaukee residents now have until the end of Sunday, December 1st, to rake their leaves into the street. I guess I'll be doing that tonight when I go home. For pickup by Department of Public Works. The leaf rakeout period has been extended to provide residents additional time to rake leaves from trees that are experiencing a late leaf drop this year. This extension allows 16 additional days from the ordinance's November 15th rakeout deadline. A news release says the city's leaf collection operations on average keep 15,000 tons. That's 15,000 times 2,000 pounds of leaves per year out of our waterway and sewer system, and instead allows the leaves to be converted to nutrient-rich compost. For modest amounts of leaves, residents are encouraged to mow or mulch leaves on their property to add healthy organic matter to their lawns and gardens. Until when I do it, and then my grass don't grow back, and then I'm upset because I can't figure out exactly how to get it done, which is interesting to me.
Number 4.
From CNN Politics, some of these cabinet folks Trump chose are kind of weird, kind of bizarre. I don't know. So it's official. Trump now has the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court and the presidency. So President-elect Trump chose Florida Representative Matt Gaetz as his pick for Attorney General, one of the most important roles in his new administration. He also named former Democrat Tulsi Gabbard as his Director of National Intelligence and Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. And so I don't know how that goes. Like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of different. Susan Wiles will be the first woman chief of staff to ever hold that role. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, he was in the Marine Corps. He was not a flag officer, I don't think. He was a I don't know what his rank was in them. I guess there's one way to find out. Type it in. We'll check his rank. He was a major. Minnesota Army National Guard, Iraq War, and the war in Afghanistan, 2 Bronze Stars, Army Commendation Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, and Expert Infantry. So here you go. Interesting. Kristi Noem is the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Mike Huckabee is an ambassador to Israel. Mike Hickoff is a special envoy to the Middle East. Elise Stefanik is an ambassador to the United Nations, and on and on. CI Director John Ratcliffe. Environmental Protection, Lee Zeldin. Mike Waltz is the National Security Advisor. White House Counsel is Bob McGinley. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are the Department of Government Efficiency, and the border czar is Tom Homan. So that'll be interesting. Vivek and Elon Musk. I don't really know what they're going to be doing. Like, what they're going to be doing? They're going to be finding money in the government, I guess. I don't know.
Number 3.
From Fox News, the subway rider seen on the video helping Marine veteran Daniel Penny hold down Jordan Neely after an outburst on a Manhattan train took the witness stand and revealed, you ready? He lied to District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office when investigators first interviewed him. Eric Gonzalez, 39-year-old father of 2, gave testimony during Penny's trial yesterday after prosecutors agreed not to charge him in exchange for testifying in Penny's manslaughter trial. Telling the court, he said aloud that the former serviceman was not squeezing tight enough during the altercation. So he's their main witness, and his credibility is gone after being confronted with this, said David Gelman. He's a Philadelphia area defense attorney and former prosecutor who's been following the case closely. Although he gave detectives a different story, he arrived after Penny already had Neely down. Everybody was frantic and saying, call the cops, call the cops. Gonzalez said, I see those 2 individuals on the floor, so I'm assuming one is trying to restrain the other until the cops come. Gonzalez's what they call evolving story could be fodder for the defense. Any witness that lies at any time during the case loses credibility, and a good defense attorney will exploit that. Neely barged onto the train, threw his jacket on the floor, raised his fist, and started making death threats, according to witnesses. Gonzalez said that he arrived on the scene. He waved his hand in front of Penny's face to let him know he was jumping in to help, and then grabbed Neely's arm and held him. And so the guy didn't touch anybody. He didn't hit anybody. He didn't stab anybody. He didn't shoot anybody. He was having a mental health issue, and you decided to take it upon yourself to go hurt somebody who wasn't doing anything to you. I just find that interesting. I just find it interesting that whenever we kill black people, that seems to be a non-starter.
Number 2.
From NBCNewsBlack.com. So, people always ask me, you want to move down south? You want to move down south? Want to move down south?
I used to want to so badly, but I don't know now.
Well, don't move to Mississippi. Department of Justice sued the Mississippi Senate last Friday, alleging that it discriminated against a black employee for years by paying her significantly less than her white colleagues. Department of Justice said the state's Senate's Legal Services Office paid a black staff attorney, you ready? Half the salary that they paid her white peers, in violation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The lawsuit said Christy McCaff, who has since left the job, received compensation well below that of her white coworkers. Before McCaff's hiring, the office had only white attorneys. So the black employee at issue in this lawsuit was paid about half of the salary of her white colleagues in violation of federal law. This lawsuit makes clear that race-based pay discrimination will not be tolerated in our economy. So the suit said the discrimination against Metcalf began when she was hired in 2011, continued for years. Her initial salary was significantly lower than that of any attorney within the office in over 30 years. And she did not receive pay increases when her colleagues did, widening the gap. Near her employment in 2019, the office hired a white attorney with no previous legislative experience, similar years of legal experience, awarding the new attorney with a higher salary. When Metcalf confronted her employers and complained about it, she was denied comparable pay, the suit says, and as a result, she resigned from her position. Justice Department said it is seeking back pay and compensatory damages for Metcalf in addition to injunctive and appropriate relief. So if you can imagine her lawyer suing you, but now you need to imagine the entire Department of Justice coming after you to make sure you pay up because you basically took somebody's money and made sure that they didn't get paid a dime. So if you can imagine that, if you can imagine doing that, that's just strange. That is just strange.
Number 1.
So former state legislator from JS Online and Judge Fred Kessler. Now, I used to fly all the time, and it was like every time I go to Arizona, I would see Fred Kessler on a flight. It's amazing. He passed away, 84 years old, after a recent cancer diagnosis. Asked about her father's legacy, Liz Kessler told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, the idea of trying to leave the world a better place than you found it was the core of his identity, along with making a difference for the people around you who were less able to do it for themselves. She said his fundamental value, the core thing he believed in, was helping people who were not in as socially privileged of a position as he was, and really trying to make the world a more equitable and just place. I've met Judge/State Rep Fred Kessler. He was a pretty likable dude. Like, I really liked him, and he was down to earth and straightforward. And it's funny, he flew coach like everybody else and just kind of chilled and did a lot of things, and he did a lot for the Milwaukee community. And I am saddened to hear that he has passed away. So my condolences go out to the Fred family and from everyone here at Truth Nation. We are praying for you and your family, and may Fred rest in peace.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Milwaukee Panthers continue their road trip as they head to Virginia Wednesday night to take on the Longwood Lancers.
We have confirmed that. Back goes John Lovelace Jr. Transition dunk on a tomahawk for Johnny.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield.
Stillwell offensive rebound, spin, score, and a foul.
Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. It's College Month. Right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and we want to help your young scholar make headway in getting all those scholarship dollars. So, all month long, we'll be highlighting local universities who offer full tuition scholarships and local organizations to help students find thousands of dollars in scholarships each year. So be sure to tune in to 1017 The Truth all month long so you don't miss this important information on your student and how they can get money for college and go debt-free. So, College Scholarship Month on The Truth is sponsored by Concordia University, Wisconsin, Live Uncommon, and Educators Credit Union, Achieving More Together. So on Friday, I've got a guest on at about 5:15 from Concordia University to talk about their scholarships and admissions, conditional admission if you have a senior, somebody going into their senior year here in high school and they're looking for a college and they can get scholarship dollars and all sorts of scholarships they can do, then you might want to check it out. That's at 5:15 on Friday. Concordia University, Wisconsin, Director of Traditional Admission. So I think you'll learn a lot. It's about talk to her for about 10 minutes or so, and we'll chop it up and go from there. Got it? 5:15 Friday. Right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. So I was looking at this story on JS Online about legislators. Now that the election is over, after Democrats picked up legislative seats on November 5th, both parties addressed reporters this week and laid out their priorities. Now, as you well know, the state is Republican as it relates to the legislature and Democrat as it relates to the governor's office. So Assembly Republicans are focused on inflation, the price of groceries. And so I know some people are upset and they're tired of hearing about it, but middle class, lower class people in terms of socioeconomic status are complaining prices are too high. Inflation was up this month, higher than it was last month, so there's some things going on. Voss noted, who's the speaker, the Assembly Speaker, Robin Voss, Republican of Rochester, said that the state has a budget surplus of $4 billion, and Assembly Republicans would direct their efforts toward returning that money to taxpayers, particularly pushing a retirement income tax exemption. I hope so. That'd be nice. They also said Republicans stated that Wisconsin voters should decide via referendum what restrictions should be placed on abortion in the state. So Republicans voted in January to pass a bill asking voters whether the state should ban abortions after 14 weeks of pregnancy, but it did not receive a Senate vote and would likely be vetoed by Democratic Governor Tony Evers. So if it's not 14 weeks, what would it be? Like, what exactly would it be? Abortion was really all our Democratic colleagues are talking about during the campaign, Voss said, adding that he heard far more from voters about economic concerns. Senate Democrats said we have a pathway to the majority in 2026. They said for the first time in 20 years, this is from Senate Minority Leader Dianne Hasselbein, Democrat of Middleton. For the first time in 20 years, we had a Democratic candidate running in every single Senate race. And I think that it's so important for democracy. We flipped 4 of those targeted seats, and that's because of the realignment by the state of Wisconsin Supreme Court, defeating Republicans' manufactured supermajority we are no longer in that space, and we're so happy to have Democratic senators, 15 to Republicans 18, and we have a pathway to the majority in 2026. They also said they're going to push for more education funding and Medicaid expansion. So they argue to fund meals for K-12 students, making tuition affordable for universities and technical college, and accept federal funding to expand Medicaid eligibility. Part of the accepting Medicaid eligibility is eventually the state has to pay for it. That could be a little bit of a problem. And for too long, our legislature has been a roadblock to progress on issues supported by the majority of Wisconsinites. So that's an important thing we have to look at. But some of the things that the Republicans are doing, it's a little bit more than inflation. Inflation isn't just the one thing. And fixing inflation is not going to be a panacea. Giving that money back doesn't help when I don't know how to budget my money, or I'm having issues at home and I got too many kids or not enough kids, or all that. So it's going to take a concerted effort. But I think we're on the right track. If we could get Democrats to look at making education better instead of throwing money at it every time they want to fix something, that's just one of those things. I don't really get it, but, So, I don't get it. Anyway. But never fear if you're driving a car. So this is what the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration probe into 104 million Hondas and Acuras. So 104. Okay. 1.4 million Honda and Acura vehicles are now under investigation by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration after receiving complaints of what? What do you think went wrong with these cars? That the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is looking into 1.4 million cars. Engine failure. So they're looking at vehicles that may have a failure of connecting rod bearings leading to complete and total engine failure. Last year, Honda recalled 250,000 cars for the same issue. They had 173 complaints with the federal government for vehicles that were out of the recall scope, but characteristics consistent with those addressed in the recall. One of the complaints reported a crash with no injuries. No injuries or deaths had been reported, but a spokesperson for Honda said the company is committed to safety and will continue to cooperate with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration through a query process. Okay. So if you drive one of these cars, your car is being investigated. 2016 to 2020 Acura MDX, 2018 to 2020 Acura TLX, a 2018 to 2020 Honda Odyssey, and I actually thought about buying one of those, but I'm not buying a used one now. 2016 to 2020 Honda Pilot, and a 2017 to 2019 Honda Ridgeline. What's a Honda Ridgeline? What is a Ridgeline? I've never heard of that car before. So there's a place to check. The NHTSA database has a place where you can search using your VIN, and you can actually do that and check to see if your car is one of those cars that is getting recalled. So, I mean, that's what I would do. I would just check and see, because I know that if you don't, you're going to end up maybe with a car that isn't quite the car you want. And you know what that means. That means that you'll be sitting there waiting, or driving, and then your car stops on the road. I cannot imagine that. I've only been on the road one time, and yes, it was my fault. I used to drive an old Dodge minivan, and it ran out of gas. And I had to get it towed, and he said, "You didn't run out of gas, you ran out of oil. Your entire engine is locked." And I had to have a whole new engine rebuilt and had to pay for it. So I learned my lesson. Gas and oil will always be in my car. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. UWM basketball, the Panthers are up next. Hang out for Scott Juarez to call the game. Pre-game at 5:30 and at 6 o'clock is tip-off. I'll be back again tomorrow on Thursday for another day right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Jason, appreciate you. DJ Brother Z. He don't never scream on my show, so I'm just forget it. I'm going. Hey, God bless. Take care.